I want to make a quick video on the Kevin Franke situation, who is the husband of Ruby Franke, and talk about why he hasn't been caught up in any of this stuff and why that's so uniquely weird. And that's all this video is going to be about, because there's a lot of other great videos on these other topics, and I found a great article that can kind of help us through this one. But first, one thing that I found very interesting about this overall is the fact that he's not getting caught up in this situation in the same light that Ruby and her business partner are, which is uniquely strange because he's her husband and he has the same kind of authority to make the same kind of decisions that she does. So he should have been feeding these kids and taking care of them. And at some point, whether or not he was gone, which I've been seeing people say, he was away, he hasn't been around her. Whether or not he's been around them, he should have the authority to be able to go in the house and just at least check in on his kids and at least make sure they're straight and that everything is going on that is like okay in the household. But he's kind of dropped the ball on that authority, which is very weird. So I think he should be equally responsible for this. One thing I found was this Rate My Professors website, which Kevin Franke is a professor at the Civil Engineering Department of Brigham Young University. And I went here and he's given a 2.1 out of 5. And 67% say they would take again. And it's a 4.3 level difficulty. And if you go down here, it says, tough grader, lots of homework, beware of pop quizzes, test heavy, so many papers, which is kind of alarming when you're thinking about it in the light of this Ruby Franke situation and how he handles his students. So let's see what some of these students have to say. Well, the first one here is a fresh one from today. This person said he's an abuser. If you get taught by his vile man, drop out your safety. His kids deserve justice. Okay, but that's not about the class. So let's see what else is about the class here. The workload can be manageable as long as you aren't taking other classes? No way. So this means that he is just slamming people with work like too much to the point that it's just overbearing. And then he's a tough grader on top of that. Nobody wants that. That is not right for any student that's especially trying to get work done. And then we go down here, never on time. He's unprofessional. And guys, these are all old. This isn't like with this new situation that's came up. These are like old ones. These are not new. Down here it says, tough grader, so many papers. I truly did not have a great experience in this class. It was an insanely hard class. I take schoolwork very seriously and never had issues with a professor before now. Hard professors are one thing, but he's downright rude, dismissive, and arrogant is another. Save yourself the misery if you can. Take something with someone else. This person also says lots of homework, tough grader, pop quizzes. He sounds like a piece of shit, dude. And then over here it says tough grader, lots of homework. Wow. So across the board, this is the consensus. He makes class too complicated. He was very rude and mean. He spoke down to students in a disrespectful manner. And you guys are unable to get in contact outside of class. He's very controlling. Classic, given this situation. You can only have the same amount of views he has, or you'll be looked down on. So is he pushing his, Mormon beliefs onto his students? This professor is so full of himself. He makes sure to remind class that he is the leader, and he will guide us into a healthier style of life. So hard to get in touch with him outside of the lecture. Very strange man. I don't agree with Professor Franke once. You are looked at for the remainder of the course. Now taking a few of his summer courses, and he's trying to get you to get involved with Jody. What? Oh my God, what a terrible guy. This is some other stuff that I found on him. There's some details that have came out that have kind of shown how he has put his kids in strenuous chores during insane temperatures. And it also just kind of covers where he was at in the situation a little bit. So let's kind of dive into this a little bit. Ruby's husband, who shares his children, was seen at the property as the man came to remove the YouTube branding from the van parked outside. Neighbors told Daily Mail they had been concerned about the children's well-being and once saw the kids outside pulling weeds for hours during triple-digit temperatures. Kevin Franke was spotted at the home on Saturday. He's believed to have been kicked out of the house last year. So that's not confirmed, but if we live on the situation of him being kicked out, he still has the legal right to have to go in and still check on his kids. There's nothing that's came out, at least, that says he's been kicked away from his kids, even if we do live on that situation. He said earlier this week he is trying to keep the children together. So this is another thing that people are saying, is that they didn't arrest him because he has to be someone that watches out for the kids. Also, I burned my hand. You probably hear me crunching a bag in the back. It freaking hurts. But they're saying that he's the one that has to look out for the kids. But it's like, no, he was the one that didn't look out for the kids. So why would he go look out for them now? No, of course not. He needs to be in trouble too. This is like disgusting. Once Kevin departed the family home, whenever said it appeared, the children stopped going to school with one of the daughters knocking on the doors. So it seems like the children were just desperate to go leave the house once he was gone, right? And this is some other evidence of why he should be looking out for the kids. But Ruby was kind of like pretty open on the internet about her parenting style, right? Like there's this disturbing vlog where she's just like talking to her children about a beating.
This is an uncomfortable conversation we must have.
Matt, are you angry at me?
Let's sit. I gave Julie a tongue lashing that will not ever be repeated nor recorded. Just use your imagination. It was bad. I am gonna say one nice thing, and that is you took your lashing very well. And I'm going to...
What the hell, dude? And she's like open about this stuff. And she's also open about this stuff.
Responsible for making her lunches in the morning, and she actually told me she was responsible for making her lunches in the morning, and she actually told me she did pack a lunch. So the natural outcome is she's just going to need to be hungry. And hopefully nobody gives her food and nobody steps in and gives her a lunch.
Mom, can you give me some breakfast?
You don't need food.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that comes into this house belongs to who?
Yeah.
And so she's very open about her terrible, disgusting parenting style. So even if he's not home, this stuff is on the internet. He should be able to go on the internet and see this stuff, right? It's not like he's totally away from it and knows nothing about 8 Passengers Ruby in the situation that he's not at the home, right? He still has access to this. So it's like, if you know this stuff's out there, you should at least be looking at it and then take responsibility for your kids. But he's not. And it sucks because nothing's happened to him. And he's just, you know, sitting there and everything's okay and there's no consequences. It's very strange. This kind of reminds me of like the Colleen Ballinger situation in a lot of ways. But let me know what you guys think about the situation. Just wanted to make this quick video to cover the situation on why their dad hasn't been arrested. So it's very strange. There's not really an answer to that, but it just being outright disgusting. So if you guys enjoyed this video and you enjoy other internet drama topics, be sure to smash that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.